My name is Adrian Eraslan. I use they, them pronouns. I've been working with Sofia University for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And I've been in mental health for probably around 11 years. And so, yeah, I've been teaching for even longer than I've been at Sofia. And I've just always really loved teaching and am so grateful that I get to work with this community. Yeah, there's so many things that I think sort of set Sofia apart, but I'll try and name just a few. And one I will take from what I've heard from students, which is, they go through about 1.5 to 2 years of the courses, the studying, and then when they get into the field and start working with clients, they'll say, I'm meeting other clinicians who are from different universities, and they talk about symptoms, they talk about problems. They don't talk about spirit, they don't talk about emotions, they don't talk about a person's larger context. They get really focused on, we're going to fix the problem, right? And that's not the Sofia perspective. The Sofia perspective is that every individual is a whole human being, and we're going to treat them that way. We're going to take every part of them into account, and we're going to recognize that we are people too, which means that we have our own feelings, we have our own issues, we have our own things that we're trying to work out. So I think it's really the expansive perspective that sets us apart from other universities. The other thing that I will say about Sofia is that I don't think I've seen a group of people, a set of faculty, a set of administrators, a set of human beings in our community as a whole that care as much about the student experience. Like, we really do. If a student has an issue, we are talking to each other behind the scenes to see how we can best support that student. We're taking feedback into account so that we can continue to improve our courses and make them more useful, more accessible for our students. So there's just like a lot of care in the community as a whole, and I think that comes from the whole person perspective, recognizing that our students are whole people and we are too. I think that one of the biggest things that comes to mind is that our students then recognize systems as part of the whole person experience. And what I mean by that is when our students go and work in, for example, community mental health settings where there might be certain regulations or restrictions or rules that are placed on people who are participating in the program, students are able to, like, for example, let's say a client shows up late to a session. They're not going to say, oh, you showed up late, we're going to discontinue services with you because obviously you're non-compliant, you're not able to participate in therapy. They're going to say, what's going on for you that made you late? Okay, your bus pass expired. You couldn't secure childcare. You are in a work situation where you can't leave whenever you want. So then we're taking into consideration how systems impact people and impact their ability to show up, and we don't punish people for that. So I think there's, I think often sort of the holistic perspective or the transpersonal perspective gets kind of thought of as being sort of touchy-feely or like just kind of fluffy, but it has real world implications in how we navigate systems that work for people or don't work for people or sometimes hurt people. So I think that's part of how this translates into real life sort of thought and how you engage with things past graduation. Yeah, I mean, I think, again, I have a bit of a bias because my area of focus is very much in thinking about equity, diversity, areas of oppression, how that works, how that impacts mental health. And so I think that's something that's being continuously infused into our program all the time on a deeper and deeper level. But I would also say really kind of moving to more towards somatics, more towards helping people understand what they're feeling in their body, incorporating the body more into how we think about the whole person, I think is a trajectory that the entire field is kind of moving towards, and something that we've been doing at Sofia. So in some ways, I think we're kind of a little bit ahead of the curve on that, but like continuing in that direction and again, deepening that. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is such a evolving concept. I think where we really would see that at this point being integrated into our programs is thinking about the law and ethics of AI in clinical work. There's more and more AI being used for therapeutic purposes, being used for documentation purposes. So understanding where is the line between what is supportive and helpful and what is potentially harmful to clients or to our practice as clinicians. I think that's where we're going to be going first before it continues to expand. And I feel lucky that our Sofia community at large has folks who are really focused and in touch with AI trends and can support us and how we think about that both in our program and as a university.